Ladies and gentlemen, hello there. It's been a couple days, I know. Your boy's been busy. I've been grinding with the guild, but I also been out with the family. We've been, going to a couple different places, getting some food, chilling, trying to live a little because this summer's been nothing but disgustingly heat. I'm living at the Swamp of Sorrow. It is disgusting out here, I'll tell you that much. And it is currently 80 to 90 degrees humidity every other single day, and my skin is basically schmelting like a marinara sauce. It's getting pretty bad out here, alright, coach? However, though, much love to you. I hope everyone's having a good day. We're going to have a really good video today, talking about a lot of things that are the key things that I'm looking forward to within Molten Core, epics that are dropping that are now confirmed, and also a couple other things as far as, Hand of Rag, additional items that are dropping, ways to maximize your rep and stuff like that. I also got a little tea residue on the beard that I just noticed, so you better settle down and don't get packed in Minecraft. You know the deal. Little tea action for you. However, though, before we continue the video, check out the link below. Rest XP, your guide through all of Azeroth and your conquest and journey through all the kingdoms in Kalmador itself, and making your quests a little bit more easier and accessible to you. Support the boy, support the channel, and if anything, just like the video, just subscribe. That's all I care about anyways. However, though, let's get into the video. We got a lot of things to discuss. I hope everyone's having a beautiful and blessed day. Much love to you. Now, new Molten Core epics that are confirmed to drop. Now, one of the big things that I've noticed was that a lot of these items on Atlas Loot, if you guys use the add-on Atlas, it tells you, like, where all your items can be found within, World of Warcraft and dungeons and stuff like that. And in general, though, I was really confused on where to get some of these items, because I saw people talking about Faithbringer, and I saw people talking about Fist of the Fireswarm, and other items as well. And I was like, where do you get them? I don't know where they're at, and maybe they're just an MC, and we don't know which boss they're coming from. But it has been confirmed, because I seen somebody in Ironforge yesterday with the Faithbringer, and it seems like Faithbringer drops from Gar and Baron. So this is a mace that I'm really much looking forward to from a PvP perspective, because not only does it sit at a perfect 3.70 for slow two-handers, but it has amazing healing done, and you can add more healing done to that if you find an enchanter for like plus 55. But overall, this is a very juicy mace, and I will be keeping my eyes out on that one. For my tanks out there, I think Fist of the Fireswarm is really nice, with a fast 1.70 swing speed. That's pretty juicy for, like, Seal of Martyrdom, especially from, a Paladin tank perspective. 10 stam, 2% chance to block, and blasting enemies for 70 fire damage. Overall, this is really juicy, really nice, and it drops from the same two bosses that you get Faithbringer from. Another item that caught my eye was Earth and Fire for 2504 armor, 45 block value, 9 stam, 7 int, with a 26 damage and healing done up to. Drops from the same two bosses, but this is an item that caught my eye because I like seeing more items with stam and intellect to help our mana bars, to help our health overall, right? And then the final, two items that caught my eye, this item drops from multiple bosses, from Luciferon, Ganis, Cerzara, and Sulfuron itself. But 27 strength, and you put plus 9 strength on this bad boy, you're getting a lot of damn strength from this. So this is a really juicy strength, pure raw based item to get that, attack power hitting a little bit harder. But overall, though, this is really nice for any of our plate wearers in the risk category, risk guards of instability. And then finally, the last necklace that I'm looking at, that I was like, wow, this looks pretty cool too, from Goldmag, the Incinerator, is a Heart of Goldmag, basically 9 stam, 12 int, and 11 spirit, with a 37 healing done, spells, and effects. So this is really nice as well. Overall, those are the ones that caught my attention, but a lot of these items, if you see on your list for your class as well, is on Molten Core, and it has been confirmed from some of these bosses here. Now, for the next category, it seems like the thing that we talked about a while back as far as Druids getting Prio and Hand of Rag and becoming Entei from Pokemon. Much love to Entei lovers out there, or any Pokemon lovers out there. Back up, don't get smacked, you're too close now. I said what I said, sir. Editor, make sure they know that. But yes, Druid Model, wielding Sulfuron. This is it. You turn into Entei. You are a fire kitten. This is really cool. I'm not going to lie. It's pretty badass. And I do think Druids deserve their time in the limelight for multiple phases. Druids have not been really seen on the PvE side of things. And now in PvE, they are starting to shine. And they actually legitimately are shining. They're on fire. And you get to see somebody's already getting the Hand of Rag. And I'm not going to lie, these Hand of Rags are going out like candy, as we're going to talk about in a little bit. But yes, people are already getting Hand of Rag already. It seems like this individual from the guild Apex, Oogie Boogie, Oogie Boogie's got the Hand of Rag. I need to know where this guy is, and I need his location. I want him locked up in the stockades. Much love to him, though. But yes, you can get this bad boy on your druid, but just know it's going right to the paladin. Much love to you as well. However, how one trinket changed the race to worlds first. Now, for this article below, basically from Take Note TV, shout out to the boy. All credit goes to him for this information that I'm about to show you here in a second. But basically, the Duke's Domain trinket, which is something we talked about and we've highlighted on this channel before, and we've discussed it with you guys, how it's 22 stamina, 25 resistance, and it expands the Duke's Domain, which increases the fire resistance of those who reside in it, basically within its area, by 50, and it lasts 15 seconds, and it only has a minute 30 cooldown. Now, if you have multiple people rocking this trinket, you guys are easily going to be going through heat level 3, no problem. Especially if you have the fire resist cap, you have the fire auras, the potions, etc., and the magic resistances. There's a lot of things that you can do to reach your caps and your values just from enchantments and gear alone. There's a lot of items there, especially within the Grim Guzzler. If you go through the thorium, basically the little dwarf, and there's a lot of items there for you to get as well, especially if you get your rep up with Hydraxium. Now, Duke's Domain is just beautiful from a PvP perspective, but also a PvE perspective. It's beautiful on both ends, and I really like this item a lot, because trinkets giving more stamina value and resistance value is something that you can never pass up on. But overall, though, I will say I really recommend you guys farming the Black Rock Mountain event highly, because there is a map I'm going to post here, and this is from Take No TV, from None of the Above, the guild, the world first. They've been always chasing world first. You can chase after 8 mini, let's say mini bosses. They're not bosses, but they're like mini ads you deal with. What are your group of 5? If you just chase after these 8 ads in the Burning Steps when the event is done, when you finish your daily quest, fly over back to the Burning Steps and chase these 8 little mini ads. I think they're like Servants of Garth. I think those are the ones he's talking about. However, though, if you kill them, you can gain yourself extra bonus reputation for Hydraxian Waterlords, and do this every event. So like within like 30 events, they were talking about on that Wowhead article over there, that they basically were maximizing their rep to Hydraxian, almost to Exalted or getting Exalted. So do this as soon as possible, when you can, when you have the time. And this is your boy Tello hooking you up with this information, because I know a lot of people are just doing their event and dailies and getting out of there. But if you have time left on the clock, go kill those ads with some friends. You'll get yourself some bonus rep. However, though, that's all I really have to say about that. Go out there, happy hunting, all right? Settle down. Now, this is what we were talking about earlier, is about Hand of Rags handing out like candy, because Sulfuron Ingots are dropping additionally within higher level heats. So, for example, it seems like in heat level 3, people were getting up to 3-4 ingots per one boss. That's absolutely insane. And currently, on my server on Living Flame, those things are going for like 1,500 to 2,000 gold. So, much love to those amigos scamming people out their wallets. Let me get a little sip for you. Send some Sulfuron Ingots and all your gold to Telloret. The title will be down here. Much love to you. However, though, settle down. Don't get packed. Besides that, though, yes, you can get your Hand of Rag relatively easily, because it's kind of being handed out like candy. It's Halloween season. Everyone's getting a Hand of Rag now. Druids are turning on fire, and everybody else is getting one as well. We'll give it to some, why don't we give it to mages now? Why don't we give it to rogues as well? Let's give it to everyone's getting a Hand of Rag. Everyone's getting one. It's Christmas season. However, though, it is the truth, though. That's why it's recommended to do higher heat levels, because you get more drops. So I would recommend even trying heat level 2 if you can, and having a strong group. I would also recommend personally bringing more than 2 tanks, because we did it with my guild, and we did heat level 2, but we got caught at a barrier, so we had to try 1. But I recommend bringing more than 2 tanks. I recommend bringing more than 2 healers, and having a lot of kicks and good rage. That's your goal to complete your Molten Core overall. But besides that, let's talk about a subject that I really want to talk about, because I think this is, like, in my opinion, probably one of the most W'd things that Blizzard has ever done. And I like this change more than a lot of things that Blizzard ever does in general, because sometimes Blizzard, as we all know, it's a bit of a shit show, so to say. But there are times when Blizzard shines, and I gotta give them their flowers when it's due. Now, the Undermine reels, right? This is the Undermine reel system. You go to Booty Bay, you hand it in, right? And you can get like a different plunder of items. One of the better items, though, you can get is if you use your Undermine reels, you can purchase Molten Core trash items such as Core Leather, Lava Core, and Fiery Core, which you could reflip on the auction house to get some gold value if you need so, or to craft, an epic item that you want to craft for your character. One of the better things, though, in my opinion, is the Undermine reel box, which will show a screenshot here. If you just get 100 Undermine reels and you spend it on like 5 per box, which I think is amazing, take advantage of it now if they ever change it, which I hope they don't, but they should leave it at that, because I think Blizzard is aware of how bad the economy is right now and how much high things are on the auction house for. So I think they're going to leave it at 5. I really hope they never change that, but you get bang for your value out of these boxes. I'm talking Fire Waters, I'm talking Black Lotus, Blood of the Mountain, Dream Foil, the Stone Scale, like the fish. There's multiple things that you can get from these boxes, and it even goes, the list goes farther. There's a lot of good items on these boxes, and I recommend spending your items on them, and or your Undermine reels, and that's how you're going to maximize your gold value, your crafting value, and your consume value as well. And you don't need to farm a lot of things in the world if you just spend these Undermine reels on these bad boys right here. Highly recommended. My favorite thing currently to do in the game right now is spending on these things. It's like playing the lottery and getting a reward. It's really nice. But sometimes when you don't play the lottery, you don't get a reward. You lose your money. However, we've been winning on this side. Settle down. Don't get packed up. However, though, that's what I would recommend. Also, before we actually continue, one thing I'm going to address right now. Hey, at WoW Classic Dev Team and Agrin and all those guys over there and girls, much love to you, but I need to have a conversation. I tweeted at you guys. You ignored me, all right? You ignored Papatello. Now you're on high alert. Welcome to the high alert list, all right? You're packed up right now. I asked you guys, and I brought up a good idea, and I'll put it on the screen here, that I simply said, what about making Undermine reels go to Stranglethorn Vale, since the STV event is basically dead? Nobody's doing the STV event, if you guys have noticed, or anybody's living under a rock over there, but there's nobody doing the event. Nothing's happening. Currently, it is a ghost town, like a Modern Warfare trailer. It is a ghost town. Nobody's living over there. And I really think it would be best bang for your buck to make the currency at the vendor in STV, instead of coins, instead of all this massacre bullshit, or whatever it is, or whatever the coin value is, I forget, because I haven't been there in so long, but nobody's promoting it, and and nobody's doing it. I think I passed over there, but I didn't see nobody when I was flying over there. Nobody's there, okay? And a lot of friends have told me that it's dead as well. And since nobody's doing it, make the vendor of those coins turn into Undermine reels, and then you can just use your Undermine reels over there. It's a seasonal server. Who gives a shit, right? And the event, you guys didn't do anything with it for 2 phases in general. You let it, just rock and just change the currency. So just change the currency one more time to Undermine reels, so we can actually use the reels at something over there for like a mount. I guess the mount would be the only thing that we would care to go for. Or maybe even for players leveling up and doing dungeons, right? They can get Undermine reels and like lower end dungeons if they're at a certain level thresh cap, right? And then they can use the reels for things only at the vendor over there. Help out the player base. That's something that you could do that would help out players leveling up, coming through the game, going through previous dungeons of last phase or phases before, and they can go to STV and spend their coins, or they can go to Booty Bay. But maybe you can make it where the crates itself like have a level 60 requirement in order to purchase them. You could just do stuff like that, you know what I mean? You could work it out. I'm sure you have a big brain over there, Blizzard, and you have a smart team. I hope so. However, if you need Papatello's help, I'm here for you, just letting you know. But I'm just being truthful about that. That's how I feel these Undermine reels should be used for, to help out your previous events. I've always been an advocate for helping out previous events within World of Warcraft, such as Ashenvale as well. Remember, I used to vouch for that all the time. So, besides that, let's continue. The secret 11th boss discovered in Molten Core. And what is it, ladies and gentlemen? It's a meatball. It's a meatball. The world's first clear, heat level 3. They destroyed the meatball itself. The meatball parmesan with no garlic bread. Actually, no parmesan, just straight meatball and sauce. Straight out of the pot from the sod kitchen. And that is the final boss in MC. Has 4 million health, It has a bar that fills up to a maximum of 1,000, and players get hit with like 4 base abilities like Flame Burst, Flare Meter, and I guess an additional melee ability or something of that nature, or just fire damage. But overall, though, there's like one more part where these fire elementals try to overwhelm you, and they try their best to kill the Hydrexian firefighters that assist you in the fight against the Molten Core. However, though, the Duke's Domain Trinket here is really strong as well. This seems like more of a tank and spank fight, but for something that was like, you know, hyped to be this 11th badass secret boss, I'm not gonna lie, personally, jokes aside, I am a bit underwhelmed. I think that this is a little bit of a letdown, and I thought there could have been at least something cooler to look forward to, or maybe Ragnaros like transformed, like out of nowhere he dies, but then he turns into something else. You know, that would have been kind of cool. And you know, would have been really interesting if, like, you know, if Ragnaros turned into something with Void instead of like fire, he's now like Shadow, since you're doing all this stuff with like Xal'atath, right? And you're doing all this like, you know, Void lore, shadowy, mysterious figure, corruption, all the stuff you have going on. It would have been really interesting to see if you needed more shadow resistance in that fight. Then like paladins or shamans or whatever, we would have to use shadow resistance, or shadow priest, right? Would have to use shadow resistance. In general, that would have been fucking cool. That would have been like, whoa, well, all this fire gear that we needed now has to be shadow for a little bit, and you just maybe need a certain amount of shadow, right? That would have been very interesting. But instead, we got it's a Monday. We got a meatball. So, my biggest thing with that, I think I saw Sarf put on Twitter. He was basically saying, what do people think about it? And I just said it was just a bit underwhelming from a thematic, you know, perspective. Like, for something that was supposed to be Molten Core, now when I think about MC, I'm not going to think about Ragnaros being this badass, you know, like, damn, this is a crazy boss to fight. Now I'm going to be thinking this meatball is the final fight. So it is what it is. It's in my opinion, and I'm not going to ever be a person that, you know, lies or bullshits or beats around the bush. I think it's a bit lazy. I'll just keep it honest. I think it's a bit lazy. I wish there was something cooler, but it is what it is. We can't fucking, you know, cry over spilt milk. And we just gotta, I guess, go from there. Now, to be honest with you, let me discuss with you guys about something else, how I feel, because I'm gonna look it up now, and this is something that I'm gonna talk about in probably a future video, maybe the next one. We'll see what happens. There is other things I have to discuss, but we're gonna talk about just briefly about it before I go way too indefinite. Because this is something I want to spend a little bit more time on talking about. But basically, it has to do with Season of Discovery right now. So obviously, you guys are aware, this is Ironforge Pro. This is where people do their logs, and the logs still have to update, so we're going to check up at it in the next couple days to see if this number changes right here. But this is all selected realms, US and EU included, for Classic Season of Discovery at 40,000 players. You can even see it here with Original Classic Era at 17,000 people are doing logs, and Cataclysm that actually has a whopping 260,000 players that are concurrently playing the game and logging on that game. So Cataclysm right now is actually popping off, and retail is about to start popping off once the War Within comes out next month, which is something that we are eventually going to start playing ourselves. Like, we're going to do like a series, probably like Classic Andy trying retail, and we're going to go through it together and see if we can enjoy the retail experience. It's going to be fun. We're going to have a good time, right? But overall, though, 40,000 players, right? I think right now SOD is going through an interesting, like, I wouldn't say dilemma, but like an interesting phase. Like, it is a phase that is like really loved, and a lot of people enjoy this part of WoW. This is like one of the best times to play WoW, and in my opinion, I think this is one of the best phases of WoW in comparison to Phase 3 and Phase 2, which in my opinion overall, I think in comparison to Phase 4 or Phase 1 was not that good, and people could say it was dog shit, and I would understand that, right? But overall, though, I've always stuck through SOD, through the mud, through the bullshit, and always supported it, even though there was a lot of things wrong with it, and we call it out. We call stuff out for its flaws, right? But we talk about pros and cons here a lot. But I will say, the one thing about Ironforge Pro that people have always like talked to me about is like, oh, you can't really, you know, people have seen these comments in the past, or like, you can't base your numbers off this because these are just raid logs. Not everyone in the community raid logs. Now, I'm going to keep it honest with you. That idea of not everyone is raid logging, I think that idea is starting to change dramatically, because if you just have one person in your 20-man team doing a log, just one, it's going to register to this website. just one person. So it could be a personal log or a private log. If it's just a log in general, it's going to go to this website if people are doing logs, right? So even if you have a casual friendly guild and one person's doing a log, that log is getting put through. So I think these numbers are a little bit more accurate than we think, and people are just in denial and refusal to accept that the game is in a certain state of what it is. Because this is the server I play for right now, Living Flame US. Now these numbers might change, right? These numbers are subject to change, but as of currently, from what it said from the 16th to the 22nd of this month, it's saying that there's only 4,000 players. And this is a bigger subject of a video that we will go through on the next video. So I'm giving you a hint on what we're going to talk about next time. But what I'm basically getting at is there is a definitely a problem going on within Season of Discovery where the game is fun. I do wish there was more things to discover, so to say, within this phase rather than just playing through what we've always known, right? And what we always done. But the game is going through, I think, a weird little time of not having enough hype. And that's something I gotta, be truthful about and be honest with you guys as well. And I think honestly, it has nothing to do with, the game being bad or it's dog shit. It's just that the value of hype around it got really affected from phase 3. And I want to see Blizzard do something with maybe either combining these servers or, maybe stacking these servers with other servers, because a lot of these servers are really low pop and either not being played as much or completely just like kind of dying out. There are servers on this list that have less than 2,000 people on the realm, less than 1,000 people on the realm. There's one server that has like 200 to 400 players on the realm. That's not great, right? So anywho, I would like to see Blizzard do something with that. Maybe we'll talk about something more in depth with this as we go on through like another video idea once we go from there. But yeah, I just wanted to give you like a snippet of this and literally, go over it with you guys and maybe if any devs are watching these videos and consider, possible either, server combinations. I wouldn't say a server transfer, because the last time you guys did a transfer with Wild Growth, especially on Living Flame and other servers, people got smacked from that. So I would really recommend, considering possibly stacking servers at this point, because yeah, it's looking a little grim for a lot of these low-end servers. However, though, that's all I'm going to say about that, and that's the subjects we're going to carry for today. Much love to you. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and we will go from there. I'll try to get some more uploads out faster, and crank out more content. I've been really busy with the guild stuff and doing a lot of stuff for Mondays and Tuesdays, and then Fridays we're doing Molten Core now, so a schedule I've been trying to fix up as best as I can. I know I got to bring back the PvP streams and, going into Alterac Valley, which that's a video we got to talk about as well, because doing other PvP matchups like Arathi Basin and stuff like that in comparison to AV, nobody's doing Arathi Basin right now. It's like completely almost dead. But we'll discuss further things. However, though, hope you guys enjoy the video. Keep on keeping on, shine on. Much love to you, amigos. I'll catch y'all on the next one. And that's about it. Ill. You ever had the leaf from your tea go into the neck gullet? Into the back piece? It feels like someone was trying to butt. I want you shot for that one, sir. Why did you put that on the teleprompter? You're gonna get backed the fuck up!